the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Murray now on first down. Buying time to his left. He'll dump this one off to Connor. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. Murray now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
So, Charles, a tough task for this defense, facing the league's leading passer to this point in the season. Certainly a front-runner in MVP consideration right now. What can they do to slow him down?
Well, there's so many different ways that they can go, and I'll guarantee you that defensive staff went through all of them this week in preparation. But bottom line, they want to avoid giving up the big play. They're going to play what they call top-down defense and make sure no one gets behind them.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 15-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Cardinals are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. First and goal. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray rolling to, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kyler Murray taking it in from a yard out. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator and what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here's a first and 10 now, down inside the 20.
And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Tackle made there by Budda Baker.
Well, this defense for the Cardinals, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Here's Darnold. Dancing to his left. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Here's Darnold. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. That is caught by Anderson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's good for 28 yards. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 6-0 our score after one. Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Now it's Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down. Now they're staring at a fourth down as Arizona's defense does its job. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So the field goal that cuts the lead in half as they, too, are able to get some points on their initial drive of the game.
Yeah, all in all, a pretty positive response, right, to the points that were scored against them. And they got a little help from their opponent anyway. Missed the conversion, so now they're just 3 back.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
They are, for the moment, the best team in football, 9-0 entering play here. And, Charles, I don't know if we'd call them a surprise 9-0, but the way that they have been winning definitely opened up a lot of eyes around the NFL.
Well, what we've seen from them so far this season, you can't stop them on offense. You can't score on them on defense. So, to me, if you're going to play against them, you have to bring your best game and hope they throw a clunker in that day to give yourself a chance.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
From the 41, Murray. Flushed out right. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Murray hooking up with Kirk for an Arizona first down. Murray a give. This is Connor.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Escaping the pressure right. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. That was a fantastic job of keeping that play alive. And he had a chance to tuck it. I thought he might.
They work on those situations all the time. This is coached, being able to keep your eyes downfield, keep the play alive, and not automatically run with the football. How about that lesson observed?
The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Let's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we go.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Hassan Reddick in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Another try after the first down sack. Murray will go out to the flat for Edmonds. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coach thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
To throw again on 2nd down. Darnold, step pressure, gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Being chased out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Hassan Reddick, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. To throw is Murray. And a throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
He'll get this complete to the running back, Hubbard.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Darnold. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
3rd and long, it's Darnold.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Byron Murphy. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it. That's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
13 yards remaining on 2nd down.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
So, CD, you talk about this football team and some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hit at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that.
And Darnold got to be intercepted for the 3rd time.
Picked off at the 38, and he will be out of bounds as time has run out on this first half. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And they're down on the scoreboard. Sort of a sloppy first half. And Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up. Make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half. Too many turnovers. Tighten things up. Maybe get in their face a little bit. Get in their grill. And then send them back out.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here's Moore on the return. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
From the gun, a give to Conner. And bulldozing his way through. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful. And that strength was on display there.
On the run is Conner. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's a handoff to Conner. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
And there's James Conner with a run that gets everyone's attention. He joined the Arizona Cardinals after 4 years in Pittsburgh. And his best year with the Steelers, 2018, named a Pro Bowler after a 973-yard, 13-touchdown campaign. Mixed results the last couple of years as he's been in and out of the lineup. But with consistency, he can still be an effective runner.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Going deep for Hopkins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. There he goes left side. 20.
You gotta love it, baby. Give me some more.
And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach told us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that will put them on top here in the 3rd. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week, an unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On the handoff, Conner. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Play fake. Murray. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. So the signal caller doing it himself there on the two-point try.
You got to like that. We always talk about the ball staying in the hands of the best players. But most of the time you want to get it to a back, pitch it to a wide receiver. In this case, the quarterback did it himself.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. On 1st and 10, Darnold.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Darnold will hand off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Darnold down to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Marshall. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
First target, first catch, and a first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Touchdown, Cardinals! And Isabella, his 17th touchdown now on the season.
And the Cardinals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. But that makes this a 2-score ball game. And, you know, the way this thing has been going, Charles, 2 scores kind of feels like 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, it's a great observation. It's been a heck of a battle, hasn't it? And points have been at a premium throughout this game. So you have to wonder, is this going to be too much for them to overcome?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. On first down, Darnold. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. That catch good for only a couple. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Faking the give, Darnold rolling to his left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up third down. A play fake, and it's Darnold. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Fourth down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. Murray's going to look to throw this thing. Buying time to his left. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Murray now. Flush to his right. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kyler Murray with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
And the Cardinals are going to be moving to 10-0 as they add on to this big lead. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on fourth down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the fourth quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Darnold on first down. He's going to let it fly.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Darnold from the gun, on the move to his left. And Thomas has it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 15.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Dancing to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
He's airing it out for Williams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 39. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting.